All right, so we already went over tired landlords. You guys know how to pull that list. That's the first list I recommend starting with. Now, the second list I recommend starting with is vacant and high equity. So I'm going to show you how to pull that. Again, we'll do a screen share in just a bit, but I just kind of want to do a brief overview of what that is and why it's a good list. So with vacant high equity, the reason it's so good is because nobody's living in the property. And if nobody's living in the property, that house is going to be in distress because there's nobody living there. There's nobody taking care of it. Houses need love. If there's nobody living in the house, it's not being loved, it's going to start to fall apart. So vacant's great. Then the reason we want to pair that with high equity is because they have some room, over what they owe. I mean, we could get into creative financing. I don't know if we'll get too far into it in this course, but with creative financing, it can still make sense that they don't have a ton of equity, but it's a lot easier if they do have equity, and you can make a heck of a lot more money, and it's a lot more simple and clean. So again, we're going to hop on using batch leads. I'm going to show you on the screen share how to pull this list, and we'll get started. All right, so we just went through how to pull the tired landlord. Now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and get the vacant high equity ones. Now the reason these ones are good is because no one's living in the property. It's probably costing that person money, or it definitely is, because it's just sitting there. Even if it's paid off, they still have to pay taxes. If no one's living there, the property's going to be getting in worse and worse condition. So that's why this is another list, one of the few I recommend starting with. So we're going to do, again, just for shits and giggles, we'll go to Austin. You'll see here again, you start with this massive amount of different properties. So 329,312. So we're going to want to filter this and get this number down. So again, you can also always go to quick filters if you want to just use theirs. But I like to make sure it's exactly how I want it to be. As you see, our number is a heck of a lot smaller than there was for tired landlords. I mean, theirs was 10x. So it's always, I like to go the extra step and make sure it's done right. So we're going to go on our occupancy side, where it's going to go. No preference, doesn't really matter. And it's going to go property vacant. So whether they live there or not, doesn't matter because we know the property is vacant. They probably don't live there. But so again, residential, single fam, unless you want to target other stuff. We're going to go ahead and go to same thing, 2 bedrooms, minimum. And the other stuff's not as important for the year built. We just want to make sure they've owned it for a bit of time, so it's not like they just bought it and they're doing a fix and flip. So 2 bedroom, 2 bath. MLS status, not on the MLS, so I just want to make sure you hit that one. Skip that one. Owner type, again, individual. Years ownership, we're going to do 5 years minimum. Liens, doesn't really matter. There'll be a separate filter if we want to just look for liens. So you have valuation equity, and we're going to go with estimated equity percent. So this one, we're going to do 35. So they have a shit ton of equity in the property that they're just sitting on, and they're wasting, throwing away because the property is vacant. So skip all those, and then this one, that's really all you have to do. So 2 5 years ownership. I mean, just they owned it 5 years. I mean, that's really hitting all of them. You could get a little more granular with it, but I think this one will do exactly what we need to do just fine. So we go to apply, save, and you can actually, that's how you'd make it a quick filter if you wanted to have your own custom one, which I recommend doing. It'll save you time. But you'll see now we just got 68 properties. So heck of a lot cheaper than trying to market to a couple thousand they want us to do before. So again, select all, add, select the list. If you already have it, or create a new list, and boom, ready to go. Same thing as last time, it's going to go right in that properties tab.